My name's Philipp Scholz Ritterman. I was born and raised in Peru in 1955. Started in photography pretty early on when I was 12. I just was fascinated with it. My dad was a good photographer, so I got my first inspirations from him. And then it was pretty much all I ever wanted to do, even though it took several detours to get to where I am today. I mean, I was a pharmaceutical rep in Germany and wholesaled tea for a while and, you know, odd jobs, all on the way to becoming a photographer full-time. I remember being dismayed at the fact that it seemed like everything had already been done in landscape photography. And suddenly I was in the middle of it, and I loved photographing in landscape, but wasn't really sure how to make it relevant. Part of the reason for those black borders was, you know, when you receive a death notice of a loved one that's passed and it's got a black border. And I was trying to make commentary on the environment being so degraded by rampant development in Southern California especially. Well, we see it all around, right? Things being paved over and stuff like that. So it was a bid to try to make images of landscape where a landscape was still beautiful, but not get just the regular knee-jerk reaction, which I found that whenever I got a Sierra Club calendar in the mail, and I'd open it up and there's all this pristine grandeur, it's like, well, what me worry? If you can still photograph it and it looks this good, why is there's no urgency in there? On the other hand, photographing environmental disasters, who's going to buy that? Who's going to want to look at it? You know, it's this fine needle to thread, or this fine line to walk between relevancy, getting people to look and actually interact with the work in some sort of meaningful way. It's almost like I've done this so long ago that I can look at it more dispassionately, as though I was looking at somebody else's work. And I think one of the difficulties for any artist is to look at their work and evaluate it without bias. And so these are so far in my past, and I've moved on in my own concerns in when I'm photographing, that I can look at them and enjoy them as though they were done by somebody else. And I'm happy to say I still like them.